All right. I think I'm about to make somebody mad today. But first off, I know the title of the video and whatever thumbnail I make is already setting some women off. Now, I have women that watch this channel. I feel like they might not have too much of a problem with what I'm going to say. But if you have a problem with it, just know I'm not like exactly stating my personal belief, which I guess I'll talk about that a little bit in the video. But it's just most men. Most men. This is what most men think, and I'm saying it from online. So let's move on a little bit. This is a Glencairn glass. Now, Kitty, she is being vocal. It's a Glencairn glass, and it is specifically for whiskey tasting. And if you see like the profile picture of my YouTube channel, that's the glass that's on the picture. So it's March, so I went and got some new Irish whiskey today because it's Irish month. But I'm not going to drink that yet. No, wait until later. I can't open it. All right. Oh, that's why. This hasn't been open in a while. So I had a tiny bit of my Larceny bourbon left. Like, not much at all. But, Larceny is very good Kentucky straight bourbon. So let's have that. I've never actually drank whiskey out of a Glencairn glass. And that's all there is, just a couple drops. And these glasses tend to really fully give you the actual taste of the whiskey. So now that one's been sitting there for a while, but not a lot in here, right? It's a tasting. That's a tasting. That's what it is. So this train going by. It does make whiskey look pretty. It really does. So it smells like a pretty strong bourbon, and it is. It's 92 proof. Small batch Larceny bourbon. Let's see what this tastes like. It smells really strong, but it's good because it goes down so smooth. All right. Larceny bourbon. I will always recommend that one. Again, it's strong. I get it when it's on sale. It's usually more than what I'll pay for some bourbons. If I'm going to pay over like $30, I want something that's completely different, and that one's not super different. It's just really good. So here's the thing. Now I'm going to make people mad. Women probably. Some men get bothered by this, seeing other men say things that I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say it in some inflammatory incel type way. I'm just saying there's a reason that either a lot of or most men, Kitty, you're not in trouble. You're right there. I see you. You're not stuck. That most men really don't like women with high body counts. And there's good reason behind it. And I'm trying to tell you, if you're a woman watching this, there's reason behind it. And you don't get to tell men what they like. Just like you don't want men telling you what to like or what to do. I'm just saying there's a reason why. Maybe a few reasons. So I watch a channel on YouTube from a Australian American woman. She's actually pretty funny too, named Sydney Watson. So I feel like some people might actually watch that. I know a lot of women and men watch her channel. It's a more conservative channel, but she talks about different things. And I watch both conservative and liberal stuff. I'm a little weird politically. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, but not actually libertarian. And I think it's because of my weird upbringing. Like my grandparents, who were baby boomers, raised me, so I'm a little more old school in some aspects, and that's why I do have some more conservative beliefs. But being that I work in the film industry and my ex-wife, we were together for 10 years. She was pretty super liberal. So, the people around you influence how you view the world. So I have a mixed hodgepodge of different beliefs, and it kind of confuses people sometimes. They can't really peg me down. Like, are you liberal? Are you conservative? I'm neither. I'm me. I'm Brannigan. Kitty, let me do the video. Okay? All right. Quit nagging me. So she did this video not long ago about these new age porn stars. I guess you can call OnlyFans porn now. This is insane if you haven't heard of this. I don't remember their names, but there's two like British porn stars, and the video she called it was like Degenerate Olympics or something like that. So one of them, for OnlyFans, I guess, did this challenge where she slept with 100 men. I think it was like in 12 hours or 24 hours or something like that. 100 different men. They were lined up like a conveyor belt. One, gross, and I'm not just talking about her. Imagine being the men in this weird train. No way, sir. No, that's disgusting. She didn't even screen them, like mostly. She didn't make them take tests, STD tests. She didn't really know who these people were. It was just absolute insanity. Ew. Okay, one, ew. Two, it's gross. It's gross, and that's a big part of what I'm going to say about everything else. Is one that's gross. It's gross on the men and her. Ew. God. So then after this, another one of the British ones. I don't know if they know each other. I'm assuming they probably know each other. But she was like, "I'm going to one up that," and she did it with 1,000 men. Bro, no. Ooh. We had to back up a second. I don't watch porn anymore. I never really had a porn addiction, but I quit watching porn, which that's a video I'll do. Not about me, but in general, like why it's good to stop watching porn, testosterone issues, libido issues, and desensitization issues. There's all kinds of things that porn can really screw with in a man's head, and that's why I stopped watching it. And I got a lot better. I didn't really have the issues per se, but I was like, I don't want it to happen to me. So, but anyway, yeah, that's porn now. That's what it is. Ugh. So, one of these girls is apparently now pregnant and says the right man will find me and marry me. No. No. No, man. Whatever man you are that is thinking about this, please don't do this. No. This woman needs to have her own consequences for her own stupid actions. Don't take care of her. In fact, she's probably making more money than you anyway. I guess that would be the reason a man would do this, is that I guess a girl like that might be a millionaire because of this. But if you got to be a millionaire because of that, there's something wrong with society. I don't. So it really had the question that popped up a lot online after this was that whole argument between men and women and why men don't like women with high body counts. And what I would see a lot of times is on the women's side, women were telling other women, it's okay, sleep around, be promiscuous, do this and that. If a man has a problem with it, he's threatened by you. That's not the case. I guarantee you it is not the case. I have never been threatened by a woman with a high body count. I've dated a few, okay, that told me they had high body count. They had a slut phase is what they called it. At the time, I didn't really have a problem with it. I don't know that I would have a problem with it or not now. I haven't really dated anybody that I think does. But I'll come back around to that. But men, we don't like that. And it's not because we're threatened. We just think we think it's gross. Just like having sex with 1,000 guys a day. I know that's extreme. But every man I know that isn't like some simp that's going on their website, paying them money, thinking that they're going to get to meet the woman of their dreams, that's simping, and it's horrible. It's a degenerative thing in society. Um, that's those guys. But normal men with values and beliefs think it's gross. And I'll say why. One, it is. It's the other guys that we know. We know a bunch of men have been inside you. For most men, that's like, no, no. One or two men, we're like, okay, well, that's probably normal for anybody. I'm almost 40 years old now. I'm not gonna meet a woman that's a virgin. I don't want a virgin. I know a lot of men do, but I don't. The only time I wanted a virgin was when I was also a virgin. So I don't want that. But men don't want women that have like high body counts because typically, now this is proven over and over, typically women with high body counts exhibit high insecurity in themselves. They typically also have body issues, and a lot of them might have a personality disorder. And I'm going to come into that in a second. You already know what I'm going to say if you've watched my other videos. So I'll say, like I said, I've dated a few girls that had high body counts, and they told me about it. I didn't really have an issue with it. Now, I'm only going to talk about two of them. The third one wasn't really much of anything. We only dated for like a little time. The other one is the BPD girl that I was with for 2 years. The other one is I dated somebody for a few months, and now I'll talk about her first because she had moved on from it pretty healthily. Now she was an ex-Mormon and said that after she got out of the church and got divorced, a lot of Mormon women that I meet felt really suffocated and not sexually liberated at all. They were very controlled by their husbands, and that's what I've heard every single time I met Mormon women. And so, okay, got it. I'm not religious, so I'm not going to date anybody that is religious. I don't believe in the biblical marriage per se. I don't really, even the full-on traditional marriage, I don't really believe in that too much anymore because times have changed. But she did say after she got divorced, she actually had a slut phase. She slept with all kinds of people. And I'm still looking at that like, you shouldn't have done that. But she knows she shouldn't have done that. She knows. She told me, she's like, I hate that I did that. I hated myself then. I hate that I had no respect for myself. I thought, and she said all this. She said she thought that, what are you doing on counter? Crazy. You got high body count? I feel like you probably do, acting like that. I'm kidding. So she said that she just didn't have respect for herself. She felt that doing this was giving her I guess you made. I don't think she used the term finding herself or anything like that, but it was like it felt like she was like breaking free from the previous life she had or something like that. But she hated that she did it. She moved on from it, and she's not like that now. Okay. Now this is also the one that had avoidant attachment this style or disorder. I don't know, one of them, and ghosted me. And she had some pretty big insecurity issues, and she had some pretty big attachment issues, obviously, and communication issues sometimes still. But at least she admitted that what she did was pretty much wrong and not respectable. Okay, I'll give you points there. Now, the BPD girl that I dated, she told me there was a point. Now, this was way after we were dating. I didn't know this until we had moved in together, really. She told me she had a slut face. She called it a slut face. And that she had went around Europe having sex with all these different guys. And I'm just here like, this is something you could have told me earlier on, because, ew. Why? I asked her, why? She said she was just wanting to have fun. She was trying to find herself. And a lot of women say that. I'm trying to find myself. No, you're fucking not. You're not. Be mad at it. I don't care. You're not. You are not finding yourself through allowing a bunch of different men to get inside you. That's actually just disrespecting yourself. If you want to do that, you go ahead. But I feel like it's disrespecting yourself. I'm talking about men too. Men, I can all you can say all these things about men. Men with high body counts. It's the same thing. So she would brag about it. And this is something that like people with BPD, maybe narcissists, I don't know. I know she did it. She would brag about it constantly and would try to give me details. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And she's all like, why won't you care? Like, this is who I was. This is how I got to be who I am. I'm like, it's disgusting to me. And then she did. She said, why are you threatened by it? Like, I'm not threatened by it. I just find it gross. I don't need to know that fact about you. I don't need to know. And it was always a thing. She would brag about it. And it's because people with BPD, especially, need this extra validation. And they can't get it in themselves. They're so insecure. They don't think that they're enough of anything. And they know the only way they can really get validation from other people, especially men, is with their body. And that usually means sex. So she was doing all of this to get validation from other people because she couldn't do it for herself through sex. That's the biggest thing. Insecurity. We know that as soon as a woman says she has a high body count, you at least at one time exhibited high levels of insecurity, and they are more than likely still exhibiting those behaviors. And insecurity can ruin relationships. So a man that's trying to get into a relationship, a man that's just trying to get in your pants isn't going to give a crap. You can say, I had sex with 150 men in the last 2 years or the last 1 year. A man that just wants sex isn't going to give a shit. He's going to go for you anyway because that's all he wants. Do you understand? A man that wants a relationship is not going to like a woman with a high body count because they're probably going to exhibit some really insecure behaviors later on or immediately. It's happened to me. That's why I won't date a woman that says she has a high body count. Now, it also typically is something that's indicative of, oh God, what was I going to say? Oh, that's what it was. I covered it a little bit. Like just not respect for yourself. It's not respectable because the thing is, if you have had sex with a whole bunch of different people, and I say disrespecting yourself because it is respectable to not allow other people to take advantage of you. And that's really what it is. If you have a high body count and you're just letting men in so that you can get 1 or 2 nights of whatever, that's a man that was taking advantage of it. The man was taking advantage of you. The man was taking advantage of you. Okay. Now, you could say you were taking advantage of the man, but typically a man that's going to do this and have a one night stand or whatnot is a man that's just looking for sex. He's just looking to take advantage of you. If that's what both of you want, I guess it's fine. But if you do it a lot, you're not respecting yourself and your body. You're not even respecting your mind at that point. You're just letting people have you. And there's a reason that while, yes, prostitution and sex work is the oldest profession, it's the oldest one. And yeah, nowadays it's real work. You're making money, but there's a reason it's not respectable. And what I've already covered, that's what it is. There's a reason people have always looked down on these people because they don't respect themselves. Some of them now value money more than their body. And if you ever want to see crazy there's documentaries about how horrible the porn industry is for women and men in general. But no, we get, the liberal side of liberal media just championing sex work and body positivity and sex positivity and all of this. And like, I got sex positivity is fine, but sexual liberation through having sex with as many people as you possibly can is unhealthy. Now, the last point, since I've just said it's unhealthy, there's our segue. It's reckless. It's just reckless. The more people you have sex with, the more you open up yourself to STDs and other issues. And obviously, nobody wants STDs. Nobody. So you're just sleeping around with people. You don't know where these people have been. You don't know where they've been. You could get something. Just bar none. That's the point. You could get something. and pass it on to somebody else. So if you meet somebody and they say, yeah, I have a high body count. Well, do you have an STD test? I don't know. I don't want, no, I don't want to get something from you. Some people don't give a shit. I have seen online. What was it? Is it herpes? It's herpes. So many times I've seen online. Herpes is so common, and so many people have it that you shouldn't worry about it. I'm like, let's stop. We're not gonna destigmatize literal sexually transmitted diseases. There is a reason they're bad. Nobody wants herpes, so let's not act like it's okay to not say something about it and spread it to other people. So I didn't go on dates with these women, but when I first started dating, after I split up with the girl with BPD a few years ago, well, it's like 2.5 years now. I met 3 different women, in very close succession of each other. 3 different women who, after we talked, I only met one of them. We didn't do anything. We just met for a drink, and then she told me. But 3 of them, I didn't meet them. They had herpes. They told me they had herpes, and I'm just like, well, I'm not going to date you. I'm not doing it. Now, if it's something where we were together, I guess, for a long time, the only way you're going to get herpes, I guess, is if you cheated on me. So then I'm out either way. So I guess there's no way I would do it. I just, unless I had it too, then I wouldn't care, of course, but I don't have STD. I've never had an STD. So I'm not going to date somebody that has one. Sorry. That's not me calling you less of a person. It's just, what if for whatever reason you got it, I don't want to date you. And typically women with high body counts are going to act like it's okay that they have it. Like, no, you slept around and got it. Yeah, somebody else gave it to you. They didn't tell you, maybe, but that maybe you shouldn't have had your little hoe face, and now your entire life is affected. We don't want that. We don't want that. Good men, decent men, respectable men, normal men, most men don't want to have anything to do with any of everything that I've just mentioned. So if you're a woman and you're mad, sorry. I'm just stating facts at this point. Like, most men just don't want that. So I don't know what you would do. I'm not going to say that not saying something's okay. I think you should be honest with your partner and tell them. But if you're going to say, I'm not that person anymore, make sure you're not that person anymore, because it also shows that there's a statistically higher chance of you also being unfaithful and cheating, because you've had so much men inside you that you think you can do better than your partner. That's how it is. That's how it is. But yeah, don't keep it from your partner, I guess, because you don't want your partner believing that you're somebody you're not. That's one big one. And if you're going to tell them, you got to tell them quick. That way they can decide if they want to pursue it or not. It's up to them. Not all men have a problem with it, but most do. And that's just a fact. Jack or Jill went up the hill. All right. What time is it? It is almost 5 o'clock. Well, it's 4:30. So there's a reason I got to go out and run some errands. I didn't want to drink. So when I get done, I will have a drink of the new Irish whiskey I just bought. And we'll talk about that one. It's called Quiet Man. I'm a quiet man. I don't know if you want to guess that, because I talk a lot on the videos. So, Cat's being shady. She's being real shady. So sorry, men just don't like women with high body counts, and that's the biggest reasons why. There's probably more reasons, but those are the big reasons. Thank y'all for listening. I hope that if you're a woman, you listened with the intent to understand here and not to accuse me of being a horrible person, because I'm just saying what most men like. And you're probably going to see a lot of men in the comments agreeing. Goodbye.